You ever have trouble letting go of maybe thoughts, people, experiences, emotions, relationships? I mean, you name it. You can't seem to just let it go out into the wind, into the ether. Well, if you answered yes to that question, you're certainly at the right place and you're certainly not alone. Okay? Letting go is oftentimes one of the most challenging things you can do, but if you follow this video to the T, by the end, you'll know an exact strategy and technique to utilize anytime you're having trouble holding on and having that resistance from letting go. Okay? What's up, guys? Nico Arapkalis here. Glad to have you on the channel. If you're new here, make sure and subscribe. And by the end of this video, if you get value out of this and you have something, a big breakthrough that opened up for you, I want you to share this with at least one or two people that think they could get some value from it as well. Okay? This is a really powerful technique, and it's one of the most effective techniques for letting go. And again, this is one of the most challenging things out there. Okay? As humans, we like to hold on. But think about this. I mean, I'm holding up my camera, it's my iPhone, and it's not that heavy, right? I mean, a couple ounces, right? Or something like that. And you know, when I'm holding this up and I'm making a video outside, as I'm doing right now here in Virginia Beach, you know, the longer that I hold it, the heavier it gets, and the heavier it gets. I mean, we're at 1.5 minutes right now, but by 5 minutes, by 10 minutes, by 20 minutes, by an hour, 5 hours, 10 hours, 2 weeks, a couple months, right? That thing is going to get extremely excruciating, right? So sometimes it's not even that big of a deal that like it's that heavy of a thing that you're holding on to, but the longer that you hold on to it, the longer it goes that you just continue to hold on and you don't let go, that's what makes it really heavy, and it weighs deeper and deeper. It weighs heavier and heavier every second that you don't choose to let it go. And that's the imperative word there, is choose. Okay, we choose to hold on to things. We can choose to let them go. Now, if you're familiar with this, there's a scale. It's a scale of emotions. And if you guys would like me to make another secondary follow-up video, I'm kind of testing different styles of content, whether that's on the computer, whether that's me just holding the phone. I'm going to try some different ones. But if you guys want me to make a more in-depth version of this where you can see like the graphics and everything like that, comment letting go down below and I'll be sure and make that. But here's the thing, they call it the scale of consciousness, or even it's the David Hawkins, because he has the book Letting Go. I'd strongly recommend that you read that book. It's a very dense book, and I'm going to be explaining kind of like one of the biggest principles that I got from that book on this video. Okay, but the scale of consciousness, it goes all the way from like 20 to 30. I don't remember even the units that he used, but all the way up to like 550, I think, is right around the range. And so the ones at 20 and 30 are the lowest vibrations, the lowest frequencies, the things that keep you in a lower frequency and a lower vibration. And that is essentially what you're doing when you're holding on to stuff. And I'll explain what those emotions are in here in a second. But the top ones are love, joy, gratitude, enlightenment. And so when you can get higher to those on a more consistent basis, that's when you're going to be experiencing just those better feelings. You're feeling good, you're in love, you're in joy, you're in gratitude, you're in peace. And that's where we want to get to. And if you're holding on to things, it's really going to be hard to actually get up to there, because essentially it's like you're in a hot air balloon. What's on the side of a hot air balloon? Sandbags. There's also rope. There's things holding it down. And no matter how much you fill up that hot air balloon with hot air, it's not going anywhere if it's being held down by the ropes, by the sandbags, by the extra employees, right? So you have to let go in order to ascend and go up. Okay, so I want to share this one specific technique that's going to help you, and I want to share a metaphor combined with that to help you understand the importance of letting go and how you can actually instantly let go. Does that sound good to you? Cool. Now, what is it? So think about this real quick, is that those emotions that I explained that are at the bottom of the consciousness scale, what are they? Guilt and shame. Guilt and shame. And so I want to share a quick little story with you that kept me holding on to things for a very, very long time. And it's something that I always continue to work on, get better and better at. Okay. But think about this. I used to play baseball. Okay. Ever since I was a young little tyke, right? I think I started when I was like 6 years old, something like that. And, you know, I had some good skills. I had some good potential. I played really well sometimes, but I also played incredibly terrible at times as well. And so what happened when I was playing baseball is, I'd play really good. I felt really good, hitting a double, hitting triple, hitting home runs, and I'm feeling amazing. And then I would just be like riding that high. But what happened when, I struck out? Well, I felt really bad. Oftentimes I would even be crying in the dugout. And I don't love that I was doing that. And certainly at the time I didn't love that I was doing that. But what did I actually do in that moment without even realizing it is that I was guilting and I was shaming myself for striking out. I felt bad that I did that. I felt bad that I let down my team, my dad, my teammates, the fans, whoever was watching. And then I just started digging myself in a deeper and deeper and deeper hole because I kept on guilting and shaming myself without even realizing it. I was experiencing very low vibrations, and I was continuing to hold on to those vibrations, and it was continuing to pull me down. Right? That's exactly what was happening. Can you relate to that in any area of your life? Again, thoughts, emotions. If you're experiencing something and you're like, why am I experiencing this? And you're kind of beating yourself up for it. Well, what's happening also in that state is that you're just simply not accepting it. You're resisting it. You're saying, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not the way it's supposed to be. It should be some other way. And that's the surest way to keep you in resistance. That's the surest way to keep you holding on. So don't do it. Don't do that. Okay. Well, what can you do? What can you do instead? Instead of guilting and shaming yourself and holding on to things, what can you do? Well, there's a line on this scale of consciousness that I believe it's at like the 300 mark. Maybe it's less than that. It's like 250. And again, I'll make another video that kind of explains this stuff a little bit further that can have all the graphs and everything. But that emotion, the emotion that can kind of get you out of the lower vibrations, because essentially like there's 3 levels to it. There's the red, there's the blue, there's the green. We want to get up to the green, but in order for us to get out of the red, we have to go to the blue first. We can't jump from red to green. And so the thing that's going to get you out of red and into blue is acceptance. Okay? Acceptance and allowing. Just allowing, right? So many times we experience these negative emotions and then we resist them. And we say, no, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. But if we just would say, hey, this is actually how I'm feeling. This is actually how I'm feeling. That instantly raised your vibration from like 2030 to like 250. Boom, in an instant. You say, okay, I'm accepting this. This is how I'm feeling. I'm not resisting this. Because here's the thing is emotions, they're kind of like a zit that won't pop, like kind of on your neck, like those really bad ones. You keep trying to pop it, and all of a sudden, like it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And if you just would have left it alone, it would have probably done a lot better and a lot quicker, and it would have healed. That's kind of like your emotions. Your emotions have a lifespan on them. And so if you just accept them and say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing right now, and just allowing that, it would be 10 times easier. So one thing that you can do also is to kind of slow this down and start asking yourself, what am I feeling? What is this emotion that I'm experiencing right now? You can kind of slow it down when you're journaling. We talk a lot about this, especially in the Vision Accelerator program. But accept it, right? And journal on it and say, what am I experiencing? How can I accept this? You slow it down and you say, okay, I'm experiencing guilt. I'm feeling guilty for constantly thinking about something that I should have let go years ago. I'm feeling shameful that I even experienced that in the first place, that I said that thing to that person, and because of that, then they didn't want to be with me anymore, or whatever it is, right? And if you just write it down and accept it, you're so much more likely to actually just let those emotions process. Now, that's one of the best ways to get out of that head trash that you may be in. And so go do that, okay? Write it down. What am I experiencing? What am I feeling? What am I resisting right now? And how could I accept it more? If you do those 2 things, it can instantly put you into acceptance and allowing the emotion rather than trying to resist it, and you'll stay in the blue, and then eventually we can ascend to the green. There's like love and gratitude and peace. Okay? So go implement that. Let me know if you guys would like me to draw this all out and explain this in a much further depth. And also, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you got value from this, if you can take this thing and go implement it, you can also send it to a couple friends that desperately need this video as well. So send it to them. Make sure and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys. Love you. We'll talk to you on the next one.